In this video, what we're going to do is look at how much we need to invest in the present to finance a series of regular withdrawals. Let's say you plan on taking out a bunch of money on a regular basis. We want to know how much do you have to put in order to make that happen. We've got a new formula for present value of an annuity. I'm not going to go over the derivation for this one in this video just to make it nice and concise. I do caution that this one is kind of a monster when it comes to inputting into your calculator, so just be careful, make sure you're comfortable with your calculator. So PV refers to the present value, R, as usual for annuities, is your regular withdrawal or regular payment, I is your interest rate, and N is the number of compounding periods. So that's our new formula. So Cassandra's life savings total $300,000 when she decides to retire. She plans an annuity that will pay her quarterly for the next 30 years. Her account earns 5.2% annual interest compounded quarterly. How much can she withdraw each quarter? So I'm going to start by writing out what we're given. We know that our present value is $300,000. That's how much that we have in our account. And our interest rate is 5.2%. We're compounding quarterly, so we divide that by 4. And our end value, this is happening 4 times in a year, 30 years, so we multiply by 4. And our goal is to determine what our regular withdrawal will be. So how much can she take out each quarter? So we're going to be working with this formula. This is kind of a monster, you know, if you're not comfortable with algebra. I'm hoping you are at this point, but if not, I'm going to kind of walk you through how to solve for R here. So we're going to multiply both sides by 0.013. We're going to multiply that up to the other side. And you can see that that sort of simplifies our life a little bit here. We've got rid of our denominator. So really it just comes down to solving for R now. What I like to do is just divide both sides by that monstrous set of brackets and let my calculator do a lot of the work for me. So you can see I've brought that down to the other side and I've solved for R here. On your calculator, what you're going to want to type is 3,900. You're going to push your divided by button and open a set of brackets. You're going to type 1 minus, open another set of brackets, type this decimal number, close one set of brackets and raise it to your exponent, and then you're going to close the final set of brackets and push equals. Your calculator should spit out this value here. So we've determined that our regular withdrawals will be $4,950.87 each quarter. So you can do this 4 times in a year.